And at the moment, right here with us, Dr. Zakir Naik himself. Dr. Naik, thank you very much for coming over here. Great pleasure. Great pleasure having you. जनाब पिछली मर्तबा जब हम लोगों ने काउंट किए थे भाई कितने एसएमएस आए, I had told you around, I think, 21,000 or
21,234.
234, and about 4 SMSs against you.
Two SMS.
But you should be happy to know the count has increased against you.
That's good.
From 2 it has now gone up to 9.
That's good.
9 SMS आपके खिलाफ हैं और टोटल SMS जो आए हैं वो 30,116 आए हैं. 30,116. Oh, 30,116. So you have 30,107 people in your favor.
Oh, that's great.
You happy?
Can't believe it. I personally can't believe it.
But that is the truth. That is the absolute truth. And we got it from the whole country. And of course, we're getting a lot of emails from abroad. बहुत लोगों ने emails हमें भेजे हैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया से, न्यूजीलैंड से, जनाब साउथ ईस्ट एशिया से बहुत आए हैं, वियतनाम से, चाइना से और कतार, these are the traditional areas, जैसे कतार हो गया, कुवैत हो गया, दुबई हो गया या सऊदी अरेबिया हो गया. ये तो पारंपरिक इलाके हैं जहाँ से वैसे भी सपोर्ट के आते हैं, लेकिन places like China, Guangzhou province of China, places like Vietnam. And by the way, we're finally getting emails from Eritrea as well. So, you know, if you're not familiar with where Eritrea is to the southwest of Ethiopia. So, it's a very small place. Used to be, you know, a very volatile place. There were lots of insurgencies and revolutions going on over there. At the moment, it's quite stable. You have a lot of Indian teachers over there, I believe.
So and there are many of the Eritreans who I'm aware that they're fans of mine.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. Now, all right, now what is the situation now as far as your visa application is concerned? जहाँ तक आपकी visa application का सवाल है.
As you are aware that we had got an exclusion order from the Home Secretary herself, which was handed over to us on the 17th of June. But my lawyer, just 24 hours back, that's approximately yesterday evening, my lawyer has handed over a letter to Theresa May saying that we give you 24 hours to reverse the order or we'll file a case in the High Court for judicial revision. So 24 hours should be up within the next few hours, hopefully.
All right, 24 hours should be up within the next couple of hours, and then the British government, Her Majesty's government, has to reply to why they have excluded you.
No, we said that reverse the order, or if they don't reverse, then we challenge in the court.
You challenge the court, and they will have to give an explanation.
Hopefully.
To that effect. So, why the support? Why do so many people support you? Why?
I feel because I speak the truth, and because I'm a person who promotes peace. So that is the reason I have a large following amongst the Muslims as well as the non-Muslims.
That's right, because we're getting a lot of non-Muslims also who are supporting you. At least all the all right, I shouldn't be saying non-Muslims, my fault. There are lots of Arabic and Persian names here, and there are lots of Sanskrit names here as well. But that's something I wanted to ask you always. ये मेरे दिमाग में शुरू से रहा है. You've appeared on this show once earlier.
That's right.
When it used to appear on a different channel.
That's right.
Why is it that in India, all Muslims per se, most Muslims, not all, because now in Kerala, of course, the trend has changed. Why is it that Indian Muslims, invariably, 95% of them, tend to keep Arabic or Persian names? Why is that? Unlike, say, in Indonesia or Singapore, where you have Sanskritized names, but they still happen to be Muslims. Even in Kerala, for example, just the other day I met a Muslim gentleman whose name was also Rajiv.
Oh.
So, you know, there's a Ranjit over there, there's a Rajiv over there, there's a Pradeep over there. They're all Muslims. But so why is it a trend to keep Persian names?
Actually, there's a lot of similarities and commonalities between Urdu, Persian and Arabic.
Ji.
The percentage goes to more than 25%. The words that are common in Urdu, in Persian and Arabic. So that may be one of the reasons that the names are more Arabic sounding. But in Islam, you can keep any name as long as the meaning is good. And as long as it doesn't have a wrong meaning, you can keep any name in any language. There's no compulsion that it should be of Arabic origin.
All right, now let's get rid of a couple of questions first, since you're here and your time, I know, is limited. A, do you support terrorism? Do you support terrorism in any form?
Terrorism in any form, which harasses an innocent human being, I 100% unequivocally condemn it, and I've always been condemning it since the past several years.
So why did this thing happen? It's very silly. I tell you what, we got the thing of yours, saying that your statement had been taken out of context.
That's right.
Do you think that is the only reason? I personally, because I'll tell you what I think. What I think that there is a lobby working against you.
Of course.
I think there are lots of people who are working against you to see to it that you should be stopped in your tracks.
You're
They're both
perfectly
over
right.
here in India, in Pakistan, and in England. So,
You have hit the nail on the head. So when you know the inside story,
so who are these people, and why? What are you going to do to stop them?
see,
What are you going to do to fight them and
these
defeat them?
people are those people who don't want the message of peace to be spread throughout the world. As you said, any logical person goes and sees the context would never ever say that I promote terrorism, because I'm a person who gets all the human beings together.
Ji.
Whether it be different groups of Muslims, whether it be different groups of human beings belong to different religions. That has been my strategy always, to get the human beings together. Now, when I get different groups of human beings together, those people are controlling these small groups, whether it be different groups or different ideologies or different religions, they lose their flock. I get all the human beings together. That's the reason I feel is that I have got a strong lobby against me.
Right, and we know what happened just the other day on this show, जब हम लोगों ने कुछ लोगों से बात करी. And in case, as far as all of you are concerned, we'll have that question for you in the header again. Do you support Dr. Zakir Naik? If you do, type out Y for a yes, or if you're against him, type out N for a no. And I really would love to know why you're against him. उन जनाब ने ये कहा कि भाई आप सूट बूट में आ गए हैं पता नहीं कहाँ से, आप मेडिकल डॉक्टर हैं, आप जनाब आप काजी भी नहीं हैं, आपने वो जो क्या होती है जो तालीम भी नहीं ली है,
दारुल उलूम में भी नहीं गया
में नहीं गए, आप जो इस्लाम की जो पढ़ाई होती है वो भी नहीं करी आपने, आप हाफिज कुरान भी नहीं हैं, मतलब यू नॉट इवन अ प्रीचर, तो आप कहाँ से आ गए हमें कुरान सिखाने वाले? तो व्हाट वुड यू से टू दैट? एंड वन मोर थिंग, ही आल्सो सेड कि आप लोगों को गुमराह कर रहे हैं. जी,
मैं मानता हूँ, मैं कभी क्लेम किया ही नहीं कि मैं आलिम हूँ. आई हैव नेवर क्लेम टू बी स्कॉलर. इफ यू सी एनी ऑफ द इंट्रोडक्शन दैट आई गिव, मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ मैं स्टूडेंट ऑफ कंपैरेटिव रिलीजन हूँ, मैं एक तालिब इल्म हूँ. वो अलग बात है कि बाकी लोग कहते हैं कि स्कॉलर, जो मैं इस बात को नहीं कहता हूँ. मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ मैं तालिब इल्म हूँ और मैं जिंदगी भर तक हमेशा तालिब इल्म ही रहूँगा. ये बिल्कुल सही बात है कि आई एम अ मेडिकल डॉक्टर बाय प्रोफेशन और मैं टीएन मेडिकल नायर हॉस्पिटल से फारिग हुआ हूँ.
टीएन मेडिकल और नायर हॉस्पिटल से आपने एमबीबीएस किया,
बिल्कुल सही.
आप केसी कॉलेज में भी गए
माशाल्लाह आप जानते हैं. और मैंने कोई दारुल से तालीम हासिल नहीं की, लेकिन मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम पैगम्बर, मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम फाइनल मैसेंजर, उनने कहा जो सही बुखारी की हदीस है, बल्लिगु अन्नी वल आया, प्रोपेगेट इवन इफ यू नो वन वर्स. अगर आप एक भी आयत जानते हैं इस्लाम के बारे में, आपका फर्ज है कि आप दूसरे तक पहुंचाओ. तो वही मैं कर रहा हूँ. लेकिन जब मैं ये करता हूँ, मैं अपने आप को ये नहीं कहता हूँ कि मैं मुफ्ती हूँ, कि आलिम हूँ, कि फ़क़ीह हूँ. मैं अपने आप को तालिब इल्म कहता हूँ. बट व्हेनेवर आई टॉक, व्हेनेवर आई गिव आंसर्स, आई ऑलवेज गिव रेफरेंसेस, whether it be from the Quran, whether it be Bhagavad Gita, whether it be Veda, whether it be Bible. So when I give references, that carries more weight. Right. So people listen to me more. And the normal thing is that giving an answer to a question is easy, giving convincing answer is difficult.
No, over here. I'll come back to the study of comparative religions later. But this is something I really would want to know.
Sure.
From whatever little bit I've read about Islam, there is no priestly class in Islam.
Correct.
Isn't that right?
There is no priesthood at all.
There's no clergy.
There's no clergyman. Anyone can lead the salah.
जी.
When we are having a gathering, if we are in congregation, anyone can lead a salah.
कहने का मतलब ये हुआ, मैं हिंदी में समझा दूं, आप जरा सुधार कर दें अगर मैं कोई गलत बात बोल रहा हूँ. इस्लाम में कोई पंडित नहीं होते. Isn't that right?
Me pandit by birth or by this?
नहीं, पंडित मतलब पंडित as in not a learned man. The new connotation of pandit.
Guru.
Learned man. No, what I'm saying is कि इस्लाम में कोई पुजारी नहीं होते, कोई पुजारी क्लास नहीं है.
Fixed by birth or by this, I agree with you.
Right.
But in knowledge there are people who आलिम जो इल्म रखते हैं.
जी.
जो
नहीं वो तो स्कॉलर हो गए, उन्होंने पढ़ाई वगैरह करी. But this is not a thing which can be inherited.
No.
This is not an inherited thing.
बिल्कुल नहीं.
और जहाँ पर जो भी inherit हो रहा है, वो actually it is against the religious tenets. Isn't that right?
इस्लाम में कोई चीज इनहेरिटेड नहीं है इसके अंदर, in terms of being a काजी etc. और अगर knowledgeable, law succession भी नहीं. लेकिन अगर उनके वालिद आलिम थे, हो सकता है बेटे भी आलिम हो सकता है, but it's not.
लेकिन जनाब मैं यहाँ पे कुछ और पूछ रहा हूँ, आप समझ रहे हैं मैं क्या पूछ रहा हूँ?
बिल्कुल समझ रहा हूँ.
What I'm saying is when there is no law of succession,
जी हाँ,
even when there is no law of succession, as they say, the best will inherit. Isn't that right?
बिल्कुल सही.
The best will inherit.
बिल्कुल सही.
So how can the Imam of the Shahi Masjid, otherwise known as the Jama Masjid in Delhi, how can his son claim that as his inherited seat? How can he claim that? Is that according to Islamic tenet?
Inheritance नहीं है.
जी.
अगर कुछ ट्रेडिट में लिखा है तो मुझे पता नहीं, बट आमतौर के ऊपर there is no inheritance in Islam for a post of leader or a post of a head of state. It's not there.
And can the word imam be used?
Imam actually means a person who is a leader. Imam means in front actually.
Ji.
Imam in Arabic means in front. So person who's in front, that's it. So for example, if I lead a prayer, at that time I'm the imam. So whoever leads the prayer is called the imam. Imam means actually a leader or a person who's in the front.
Right. So we settled that question. There is no inheritance per se.
No inheritance in terms of posts for these things.
Right.
गुमराहियों से मिलती है उस शख्स को नजात, शब रोज जो गुजारता है आलिमों के साथ।
कुरान मजीद हमारी जिंदगी की, हमारी ईमान की रूह है।
बेराह रवि से छुटकारा,
चाहे वो अकीदा हो, चाहे वो अखलाक हो, चाहे मुआमलात हो,
शाइस्तगी और सलीके वाली बेशुमार बातें।
बंदे मोमिन का कल्ब हर तरह की आलाइश से पाक हो।
यही काम मोमिन को क़यामत तक करना है।
बेहतरीन मालूमात का हुसूल, उलमा के साथ सीखिए जिंदगी गुजारने के उसूल।
ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा अपने आप को कुरान से करीब रखना और सुन्नत से नज़दीक रखना।
कि रसूल अकरम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम हर वक्त ज़िक्र इलाही से अपनी ज़ुबान तर रखा करते थे।
हर अच्छी चीज़ मारिफत इलाही का ज़रिया बन जाती है।
अगर जिंदगी होगी बामकसद तो लम्हा लम्हा होगा खुशनुमा। महफिले उलमा हर जुम्मा और शनिचर शाम 6 बजे और दोबारा रात 12:30 बजे इंडिया में पीस टीवी उर्दू पर। Marriage or divorce,
divorce,
solution or problem,
joint family system,
heaven or hell,
big fatty misconception.
you choose. Beauty, wealth, family status, virtue. Decide what you want. Decide your choice. Be sad or be happy. It's your choice. Join Dr. Zakir Naik in Better Half or Bitter Half हर शनिचर रात 8 बजे और दोबारा सुबह 10 बजे इंडिया में पीस टीवी उर्दू पर।
والسابقون الأولون من المهاجرين والأنصار والذين اتبعوهم بإحسان رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه। خلفائے راشدین کون ہیں؟ اللہ ان سے راضی اور وہ اللہ سے راضی۔ یہ خطاب عظیم انہیں کیوں ملا؟ وہ لوگ ہدایت یافتہ کیوں تھے؟ ان کی سیرت و سنت ہمارے لیے قابل اتباع کیوں ہے؟ خود نہ تھے جو راہ پر اوروں کے ہادی بن گئے، کیا نظر تھی جس نے مردوں کو مسیحا کر دیا؟ آئیے ان عظیم صحابہ کرام کا اخلاق و کردار، حق گوئی و بے باکی، تواضع اور سادگی جاننے کے لیے دیکھیے ہمارا پروگرام سیرت خلفائے راشدین پیس ٹی وی اردو پر۔
دیکھیے سیرت خلفائے راشدین شیخ شمیم فوزی کے ساتھ اگلا پروگرام پیس ٹی وی اردو پر۔
So all those people who are against, aren't they talking about a very Hinduized version of Islam? Isn't that what they're talking about?
Personally, I'm a person who doesn't criticize other people. That's my way. To praise a person is easy. I avoid criticizing anyone. I avoid criticizing even those who are against me. Well, I believe in the philosophy. When someone throws stones at you, raise yourself so high so that the stone doesn't reach you. Yes, as a movement per government, that's a different thing. So I personally avoid speaking against group because that doesn't give a good flavor.
But these
or a
people
good image.
succeeded in getting you banned, even from Uttar Pradesh. They succeeded in
There
getting
was no
you.
ban on
They
me.
succeeded in getting your meeting prohibited in Allahabad, isn't that
There
right?
never was a ban on me anywhere in the world. This is the first time in UK.
But isn't it true? Are you allowed to go and hold a meeting in UP right
Of course I can go. I've got invitation from UP, but I'm busy. In UP, the people who had taken the permission for that meeting, the permission was cancelled. There was no letter sent to me. No one told me don't come to UP. What it was that the organizers, their permission was taken away, which can happen very often anyway. So there's no rule that I cannot go to UP. I have got invitations from UP to Lucknow. You come, we'll have a great gathering, but I'm busy. It's not easy to get me overnight.
No, that could have been because of a law and order.
Except when you call me, it's different.
Right. That could have been because of a law and order problem. That could have been because of some other problem, some administrative problem.
There are many politicians who say that you cannot go to this place for these 2 number of days.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean a ban is imposed on them.
Right. So, all right. So that's a clarification. That's a clarification.
I've not been banned anyway.
That information was carried out here on this show. He said that there's a ban on Dr. Zakir Naik in Uttar Pradesh. Now that's a clarification. By the way, when we inquired from the UP administration, they also said that they are not aware of any such ban. ये हम आपको बता दें जब उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार से हम लोगों ने ये इंक्वायरी करी तो उन्होंने भी कहा कि कोई हमारी नॉलेज में फिलहाल कोई पाबंदी नहीं है. That's what they said. And so that's a clarification over there. Now, in terms of the other thing, A is the question of your statements having been taken out of context with regard to who should be a terrorist. I'm talking about why are people against you. The UK ban, I'm reasonably certain it will be lifted. I don't think that is going to be
Hopefully.
I don't think that's going to be on. Anyway, it's not just my personal feeling. We're getting a lot of people calling in from the UK as well. And they also say that they made a mistake.
That's right.
Because obviously they've been wrongly briefed. I mean, it's a new government, as you said. David Cameron has just taken over as Prime Minister. So possibly they, I don't think there will be a problem there. तो कहने का मतलब ये हुआ कि आपकी जो भी अल्फाज हैं आपके जो भी अगर कोई उसको लैच ऑन कर ले और किसी भी चीज को कोई नेगेटिव कॉनोटेशन दे दे तो वो कर सकता है. That's what is happening.
किसके आपके साथ भी कर सकता है, मेरे साथ भी कर सकता है. जी. किसके साथ भी कर सकता है.
Right. So that's what the thing is. All right. Now let's go back to yourself. When did you start doing this? When was what was the first meeting that you addressed? Because you could not have
talks.
And in terms of your talks, in terms of your comparative religion lectures,
actually,
because they're brilliant, very frankly speaking. Because I'm fascinated. By the way, you can pick up the Bhavishya Puran from here, the Chandogya Upanishad from there, talk about the Yajurved, the Samved, the Rigved, the Atharvaved, and then compare it to what is there in the Holy Quran. I mean, that's amazing, really, truly amazing. So when did you start that?
As you may be aware that by education qualification, I'm a medical doctor. While I was doing my medical studies, when I was in the second year in Nair Hospital, that was in December 1987, there was a person by the name of Sheikh Ahmed Didat. He happened to be a Muslim scholar of the Christian Bible. So when he came to Bombay, I was inspired by him. And because of being inspired by him,
Sheikh Ahmed Didat of South Africa.
Sheikh Ahmed of South Africa. Originally born in India, in Gujarat, in Tatkeshwar. Then later on went to South Africa, spent his life. And the reason I chose to be a medical doctor because I felt it was the best profession and it is a good profession. Not that is bad. But when I treated the patient, when I treated his physical illness, I got immense pleasure. But when I treated a person spiritually, his soul, I found multiple times more pleasure. That is the time I decided slowly I shifted. And I told my parents that, okay, now I want to give at least 2 hours a day for talking about peace. My parents said, no problem. My father is a doctor, as you are aware. My brother is a doctor. Then I said, I want 50% medicine, 50% talking about peace. They said, no problem. Then I said, 2 hours medicine, balanced peace. They said, no problem. Then I said, full-time peace. They said, no problem.
So when did you, which was your first meeting?
First lecture that I gave was in the small office, in a gathering of maybe about 40, 50 people. That was in 1992. That is the Quran, God's word.
In Mumbai?
In Mumbai.
Right.
That was in Mumbai, the first talk. And it went on for more than 3 hours. I was shocked. I thought, because I didn't know how much time it takes. So I prepared from memory, thinking it will be a 1 hour speech. It turned out to be a 3 hour speech. That was the first talk. And then in public, it was in 1993, then 1994. And the first talk I gave abroad was in 1996.
In 1993, where was the first public meeting?
Public meeting, it was in Indian Merchants Chamber.
In
Churchgate.
Indian Merchant Chamber at Churchgate.
In Churchgate, and the talk was Quran and Modern Science.
All right, Quran and Modern Science.
Then it was Women's Rights in Islam at YB Chaman Hall in 1994.
And then in 1996, you went abroad for the first time.
In between, there were some other talks. So 1995 is the Quran, God's word. So first there were a few hundred, then became few thousand. Then I gave the talk in Billa Matushri. In 1995 is the Quran, God's word. There were a few thousand people. Though the capacity is only 1,200, but there were a few thousand people who turned up, and there was a big chaos there.
There usually is at your talks. There usually is where you work and start. All right, now, so that's how you started off.
That's right.
Then you used to appear on various television channels and other things, and then you started your own TV channel called Peace TV. So how is Peace TV doing now?
As far as Peace TV is concerned, as you may be aware, it was first started in January 2006. That is the Peace TV main channel. which had about 75% English, 25% Urdu, Hindi mixed.
Gee.
And it kept on spreading. It was on one satellite, then two, then three, then four, then five, six. It was throughout the world. In the span of 1.5 years after it started, it was spread throughout the world. Anyone puts a dish, any part of the world, whether it be America, Europe, any part of the world, you could see it. In 2008, in June, one more channel was launched, Peace TV Urdu.
Peace TV
So
Urdu.
from the main channel, all the Urdu Hindi programs were removed. It became a 100% English channel, and then we had a new channel, Peace TV Urdu, last year. And inshallah, we have hopes in December to launch a third channel, Peace TV Bangla.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. All right, now let's come back to your case. As far as the UK case is concerned, two things. A, perhaps they have been misinformed or whatever, but
I doubt.
Do they usually do that? They don't usually do that, because you've been to UK before.
They don't.
Because they're very thorough in what they do.
This is a new government, so I feel they took a decision in haste. As you know, I've been to UK several times, and they talk about freedom of expression. I had never had any problem. In fact, the last visit, I was standing in the queue in the Heathrow airport, right at the end of the queue. The officer called me. I said, okay, fine. Do you want to question me? He said, Dr. Naik, you know, we see you on the TV, and they got me in the front. Imagine, so there are many people in the immigration who know me. So this, I believe, because it's a new government, hardly been in power for 1.5 months. And this conservative government, as you may be aware, initially was in the opposition.
Yes.
Used to always tell the government in power that because of you, you're allowing people to speak and you get them inside. That is the reason all this terrorism is there. Now, when they came to power, it was, as we said, many groups are working against me. There was an article that came in Sunday Times on 30th of May,
Yes.
2010. The person who wrote the article was David Lippard. And he wrote this, that a preacher of hate is let into Britain, saying how come this new government, conservative government, is allowing people to preach such hate, etc. So there was a pressure on the new government that now you're in power, now you have to ban Dr. Zakir Naik. You have to exclude him from the country. And they gave reasons and they quote him out of context, whichever. So that's how I feel it was more of a political decision rather than a legal decision. Because no legal person in his sound mind will ever take such a decision. So that's the reason, though, in the newspapers, the quotation was only half a sentence, saying Dr. Zakir Naik says, every Muslim should be a terrorist, which now it is clarified. But in the letter that Theresa May gave me, the full context is given. So after reading the full context, how could a person yet agree with the exclusion order?
And yet they did.
They did because, see, when you're in politics, you take a choice. They know both where they're losing, so they take the choice in which they feel that they can maintain their seat. So if they exclude me, they can say, okay, we have kept our word, irrespective of what happens later on. And they know very well. And they were informed that if they exclude me, we will be going to the court.
लेकिन यहाँ पे डॉक्टर नाइक मैं जान करके ये सवाल इसलिए पूछ रहा हूँ, why we are carrying out this entire campaign as far as the RTV show is concerned, let me make it very clear. यहाँ पर, could this be the beginning of a trend, in the sense that UK does it first, then maybe France does it, then Germany does it, then the rest of the European Union follows suit, and then the United States do it?
It's already started.
Right.
Immediately after that, we got a call from the Canadian
Canadian High Commission, yes.
A call.
Yes.
Not an official letter. With official exclusion, they require everything to be passed. So just a call saying that you have a valid visa for 5 years of Canada, which was given to you last year, but we are sorry the visa is cancelled. However, if you want to travel again, you can apply. What does it mean? You have a valid visa for 5 years, which was given to me last year. That's a Canadian.
That's right.
I applied for a normal visa. They gave me a worker's visa. Now, why will they give me a worker's visa when I ask for a normal visa? That means they had faith that this person is excellent. He has been to Canada before. First they gave me 6 months visa, then they gave me 2 years visa. Same in UK, same in Canada. So this thing has just started recently. And it will follow suit. And we are aware of that. Not only with me. Very shortly, because you know, after me, they are trying to exclude the other people also who are doing the same thing throughout the world.
So how do we combat that, in your opinion?
I feel that we should not use the dirty tricks what they are using. I will not quote anyone out of context. I will believe in fighting in a truthful way. Fighting is the wrong word to use now, it's very dangerous. I would say challenge them. But if I say I'm fighting the UK government, it will come a headline, you know, Zakir fighting UK government again on YouTube. You know, so again they'll be after me. The right word, you know, so now I have to be careful of what words you use. It should be, I would like to challenge them, or, you know, a request for a revision. And I feel today I have more faith in the judicial system rather than the political system. Whether it be judicial system of India, I have more faith in it than the political system. And also have more faith in the judiciary system of UK than the political system. But there are times when the politicians are very much endangered for their seat. They can go to the extent of even putting so much pressure on the judiciary system that they cannot take a just view, or they cannot give a just verdict.
Which is sad, isn't it? Which is really sad.
Which is sad.
And that, by the way, just doesn't apply to you. It applies in lots of other things as well.
That's right.
Dr. Naik, a personal question to you. What about your own faith? What about your own... do you really believe in what you preach?
Of course. If I wouldn't have believed in what I preach, then why would I have preached it? Because no one is paying me for that. It is absolutely honorary. It's absolutely complimentary. It's for my own in-depth pleasure, unlike many people. As you know that I'm a medical doctor, but I'm just a silent partner in the medical profession.
Right. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for coming over here, Dr. Naik.
It's a pleasure.
Great pleasure having you with us. And always, talk with you is most interesting, very educative and very enlightening. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
One of these days we must have a proper debate.
Inshallah. Inshallah. Thanks a lot.
That would be really and truly nice. Right. Time for us to go as well. Time for us to go as well. But you keep watching them. And Dr. Naik's channel is called Peace TV, which is P-E-A-C-E. That's Peace TV. And you can, of course, watch him every day on Peace TV. Right. Thank you so much once again. And
it's a pleasure.
God bless you and all the very best to you.
Thanks a lot.